Hi class, this is Mrs. Lyons. This short video is going to show you how to write formulas for ionic compounds that have a transition metal in them. Remember, when we talk about transition metals, we don't know what the charge is, like the other metals on the periodic table in groups 1, 2, and 3. So we have to do something a little bit special in transition metal compounds. And what we do is we include a Roman numeral in the name of the compound. Okay, so if you aren't familiar with Roman numerals, these are the Roman numerals for the numbers 1 through 10. These can also be found on the back of your periodic table. There's a chart that lists these Roman numerals, so you don't have to memorize them. But make sure if you're using a Roman numeral, if you're not positive what number it represents, check it out on the back of your periodic table. So the reason that we include a Roman numeral in the name for transition metals is that the Roman numeral is always going to be equal to the positive charge on the metal cation. So here you have two examples. Iron can form two different cations. It can form an iron 3 cation, or it can form an iron 2 cation. When we write that, we would write it as iron Fe. Since this is a Roman numeral 3, we would say it's 3 plus. On this example, we would say that this, since it's a Roman numeral 2, is iron 2 plus. Once we've done that, we're going to name the compounds exactly as we would if they were normal ionic compounds. So, just a little practice. So we have copper 2 chloride, okay, Roman numeral 2. So that tells us that copper has a plus 2 charge. We know if we look at our periodic table for chlorine, the chlorine ion has a negative 1 charge. So because of our crisscrossing rules, we can get a compound, a formula of CuCl2 for copper 2 chloride. What about chromium 3 oxide? Okay, same thing. Chromium is Cr. The Roman numeral 3 tells us it's got a plus 3 charge on the cation. Oxide is just oxygen. You look at your periodic table, it's in group 16, so a minus 2. If we crisscross these, we're going to get Cr2O3 for chromium 3 oxide. A couple of more examples. Lead, this is the Roman numeral 6, so that would be lead is Pb. 6, so that has a 6 plus charge. If you look at your periodic table, chlorine is a minus 1, so our formula would be PbCl6. One more, iron 2 oxide. We know that iron is Fe. This tells us it's got a plus 2 charge. Oxygen, group 16, has a negative 2 charge. So if we crisscross these, we would get Fe2O2. Hopefully, you know that we cannot leave that like that because we're going to simplify. So the correct formula would be FeO by simplifying the two 2's beside the oxygen. Two more examples, and then this quick video will be done. Copper 2 bromide. So we've got Cu. The 2 tells us there's a plus 2 charge on the copper. Bromine is in group 17 on the periodic table, which means it forms negative 1 anions. If we crisscross, we get CuBr2. Copper 3 fluoride. This is another one of the elements. The reason you have to have those Roman numerals is that the different elements on the periodic table in the transition metal part can have different charges. So this is going to be copper 3 plus. We have fluoride, which is a negative 1. It's in group 17. That gives us a formula of CuF3. Okay, so I hope this video has helped you to understand what the Roman numerals mean in ionic compounds with transition metals. I hope this makes it a little bit easier. See you soon.